Hey guys, Darryl Russell here. In this video, I want to show you how to analyze the competitors of a keyword to know if you can outrank it, okay? Because I noticed that a lot of people really struggle with, is this a good keyword or not? Can I beat these competitors? And in many cases, people enter a market and they'll spend like 3 months, 6 months, 12 months time on loads and loads of money, like thousands of dollars and PBNs and whatnot, trying to outrank these sites. And then they can't get past like page 3 or page 2 or whatever else, right? So in this video, I want to show you how to actually analyze the competitors, and it's a really simple, dumbed down approach to how you can analyze competitors and see if you can actually rank for a keyword. Because frankly, I think most people overcomplicate this and they look at metrics and stuff that doesn't even matter, right? The metrics don't matter. It's what actually is behind the metrics and the actual things making up those metrics that actually matter, right? So I'll explain by actually just showing you. So here's what I've got, right? I've got 3 different keywords here. I've got best juicer reviews, I've got best laptop reviews, and I've got plumbers London, okay? And I'm going to show you roughly what sort of checklist I use when I'm looking at these keywords and how I decide if I can go after them, if they're too competitive or anything like that. And I also note, guys, by the way, that I'm very lazy. So rather than ranking for like plumbers London, I've done a separate video for this, I would rather rank for like plumbers Pimlico, right, which is actually an area and a company, I think, right? But I want to rank for stuff like this, or plumbers Highgate, right? Because it's so much freaking easier and you get much less leads. But then I'll just rank for the same sort of thing over loads and loads and loads of areas within London, right? But that's a separate video, but that's kind of how I do it. But then I also go after London, but I know it's much more competitive. I just have the budget to do that, right? But starting off, let's go into how to actually analyze the competitors of these 3 keywords here, okay? And while I do this, I got a little checklist to help me help you guys out. So the first thing is to check, do they have big authority sites ranking for these keywords, okay? So notice I'm not starting with metrics or anything like that. Is there big authority sites ranking for these keywords, okay? Best juicy reviews, let's have a look, right? Okay, so I don't really know this niche whatsoever, but let's have a look. I'm guessing by the name goodhousekeeping.com is a authority site. I don't really know. I could open it up and double check, but I don't know, but it sounds kind of like it, right? Again, I'm just guessing by the domains. Wirecutter, I think I've heard of before. Trustreviews.com. Independent's obviously a big site. Which.co.uk, right? And my country, like I'm in Vietnam as I record this, using google.co.uk. That may screw up the results. I don't really care that much. I'm just giving you guys a rough example, right? But Good Housekeeping, looking at the site, I'm going to presume this is a legit site, like a big authority site, right? But you could do a little bit of research to actually throw them into Ahrefs or whatever and check how big the sites are. But I'm going to see that there's a few different authority sites here, right? Good Housekeeping, which is technically number 1, but the featured snippet is taken over by this site, which looks more like an affiliate site, but it's hard to say. And there's some other legit authorities here, the Wirecutter, Trust Reviews. I don't know if any others are. Again, I don't know this niche, right? But you can see quite a few independent, top10reviews.com, I think so, I'm not sure, which.co.uk, right? Now, there's a few authority sites here, but there's also a bunch of affiliates here, like Best Cold Press Juices, at a guess, is an affiliate site. Let's have a look, right? And we pull this up. And yeah, it just looks, you can just tell, right? You just instantly just look at it as, okay, that's an affiliate site, right? Not an authority site, it's an affiliate. And when I say authority, I just mean a big ass site, right? That dominates that niche, right? So the Wirecutter, have a look at this site, or independent.co.uk. These are legit big ass brands, okay? So let's just change that checklist as big ass brands, okay? That's a nice easy way. Big ass brands, okay? Do they have big ass brands ranking for this keyword, okay? The Wirecutter, right? A New York Times company. That's a big ass brand. Independent, I think you know what that is, right? Big ass brands ranking, okay? So that's a bad sign, but it's a good sign when you see affiliate sites, right? But let me show you another. We'll go back to that. That's number 2, but let's have a look at another keyword here. And I'm going kind of fast paced, just slow it down. I'll put a transcript below the video on our blog or anything like that. But I want to go through a few different things, okay? So another keyword here. Best laptop reviews. TechRadar.com, freaking huge site. CNET.com, if I said that right. Huge site. PC Mag, Laptop Mag, TrustReviews.com, the Wirecutter, PC World, Telegraph, Digital Trends, T3, right? These are all huge freaking sites, right? Or big ass sites, as we were saying before, right? So looking at this keyword, I know instantly that I'm not even going to attempt to rank for this keyword, okay? I won't even try it. It's just way too competitive with all these massive sites, so I'm not even going to go after that, right? So it's a very easy way of looking at this and saying, hey, I don't want to go after this. It's too freaking competitive, okay? Here's another example that's not a review site. So right, these ones are like typical for like cost per sale. So these ones are typical for like cost per sale offers where you get paid a commission. You promote this product, you promote a juicer, you get paid, I don't know, 5, 10%, whatever, a commission for every sale that you generate. Same with laptops, right? For plumbers in London, you're going to do this for either a plumbing client or for a brand new site that you're going to sell the leads or the traffic on that site, right, to a local company, okay? So you have an advantage. If you're doing local SEO and you've got a client, you can use their website and they already have existing sort of age, you have an existing brand name, you already have existing traffic and links possibly. So that's all going to help. So when you decide if you can rank a client for a term like Plumbers London, then that also comes into consideration. And that's a whole different video. It's something we cover in more detail in Ranking Blueprint inside our Scientific Rankers membership, okay? But it's not something I can really cover in this video, right? But having a look at this, right? So what I'm going to look at here is how big these sites are, right? So I can see the Pimlico Plumbers. I did a little research on this before. These guys are a big ass brand in this niche, in this area, right? And I know that because the guy's been featured on TV and all that sort of stuff. You have a look on his site, you can tell it's a big site, right? So that's another checklist item. But let's go back to the checklist and let's kind of expand on this, right? So what I was saying before, if you go to Juicy Reviews, okay, one of the other things I like to look at is if there's other affiliates ranking for this site, okay, ranking for this keyword, sorry, right? So you can have a look, best cold pressed juices we saw before. I don't know what ecokarma.net is, let's have a look at it. Organic Newsroom is the one that's number 1 in the featured snippet and number, what's that, 3 here? Let's have a look, see these guys are affiliates, right? So I already saw one of them as affiliate. Organic Newsroom, it's hard to say, it looks pretty cool actually. Okay, it's all Amazon reviews though, so it's kind of obvious when you see the Amazon reviews, right? You see shop on Amazon, right? So it's an affiliate site, okay? I don't know how much of an affiliate site, but it is an affiliate site for sure, okay? 20 best uses of 2018, okay? It is 2018 now, of course. Scroll through here, it looks like an Amazon affiliate site, and there you go, the cost, and if you click these, I'm sure it takes you, yeah, Amazon links, okay? So Amazon affiliate sites, right? So we know now that, okay, affiliate sites are starting to rank for these terms, right? So it means it's not mega competitive. There's other affiliates managing to get in here, okay? Laptop reviews, none. Like maybe these guys are like using like affiliate links like Tech Radar and stuff, but they're huge brands. Again, I separate them. When I say affiliate sites, you could just mean like niche sites or like affiliates, like people that are doing stuff like us, other SEOs, right? They're promoting Amazon as well, but they don't really count. They're big ass brands. So that's like, is it a niche site or is it a big ass brand? Okay, so we can add this to a checklist. Niche sites. Oops, if I can actually spell niche sites, right? Actually, just put are there other niche sites ranking? Okay. And basically check, is there other sites that they're ranking? Now on a local level it's different, right? So what I was mentioning here before, like Pimlico Plumbers is a big ass brand. You have a look at their site and you can see like this guy's got like an OBE, which some UK, if it doesn't even matter, right? But these are a big brand. You can see by the pages on their site, right? It's a big brand, right? Whereas I'm gonna look down this list for a local level and see if there's any sort of SEOs doing stuff here, right? So this one here, london-plumber.co.uk. That makes me a bit happier because it's like, okay, there's an SEO sort of person going in here and ranking some like EMD style or exact match domain, which means like keyword focused domain here, right? So you can see here, a site is ranking London Plumber, but I don't really see like loads of London Plumber keywords here, right? So again, we can keep going and more keywords here, but most of them are legit brands in London. So if I'm trying to rank a like paper lead site where I just rank a brand new domain like plumberslondon.co.uk or London Plumbers or whatever, right? It's going to be much more difficult if all of these are legit brands. Actually, these guys are number 3 in the map pack at the bottom here, right? So they actually are a brand, but they're using an EMD. But I'm looking for like EMDs and stuff on a local level, okay? All right, so next up, what I'm going to look at is how thin the sites are. How much content do these sites have on them, right? So on a local level, this isn't as big of a deal, but it still says something. Like, are each of these things here pages, right? So it looks like they are. If I click this, it says plumbing services, and they have tons and tons of pages for all the services by the looks of it, right? Now, this just says something about the effort that's going into these sites, okay? On a local level, it's not usually going to be that much. These guys have a decent amount of content. It's not even loading properly. I don't know if it's my internet or what, but it's okay. Like, it's hard to tell on a local level, but if you're seeing sites that are ranking and they have like 3, 4, 5 pages, it's nothing. Whereas you see these guys, they've got like just in these services here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, like 8 pages here. and then they got other stuff up here as well, right? So that kind of gives you an idea that they've actually got a decent amount of content. And these guys are at the bottom of page 1. If you go to Pimlico Plumbers at the top, have a look at how many pages these guys have got. Plumbing, bathrooms, appliances, they got all these different pages, right? So they have a ton of different pages. If you just have a look at that, actually, it's much easier to just do this. Okay, they got 5,840 pages or pieces of content indexed on their site. That could be images or anything, to be fair, right? But that's what they got. You can see loads of blog posts and all sorts of stuff like that, right? So that gives an idea of what we're going up against. And I'm ideally looking for much smaller sites. And if you have a look at these guys on an affiliate site, that's also going to give us a good idea how competitive this is. Especially the easiest thing to compare, by the way, is other SEOs. Okay, so if you're in a market that's no SEOs in it, that may be a good thing, because it could mean it's untapped, right? But if you're going into it with loads of SEOs, it means that it could be making money. There's a good chance it is if a lot of people are targeting it, and it means you can very easily analyze other SEOs to see how well they're doing. Okay, so how big is this site here, right? Organic Newsroom. I'm going to guess pretty good, because we looked at the page a minute ago, right? So let's have a look, reviews, and see if we can get an idea for how much content they got, right? Okay, these guys have a lot of content, right? And I'm going to actually have a look at the pages as well and see how many words they've got on the average page and how many words they got on the pages actually ranking. And you can also do like I did before, like the basic site search. Sorry. What's this? Organicnewsroom.com, right? And you can get like a pretty good idea about how thin these sites are. So these guys have 475 different pages on their site, and I want to see like how many words they got across all their pages, right? So you have reviews, best juices, and you can see this is the page that was ranking. Is it a thin post? Not particularly. It's quite a decent amount, but not a huge amount of words. You could do more than that, but a fair few. And then you can have a look across like 475 pages. If they're all this big, that's a fuck ton of content, right? And you can actually check this on basically any sort of site, right? So we're looking at the other keywords, best laptop reviews. I wouldn't really do this in this one because I've already eliminated it, okay? Like, these are all authority sites. You have a look at any of these, probably have millions and millions of words on these sites, right? Because they're all big ass brands, okay? So I'm going to have a look at the affiliate ones and say, okay, go back to now to best juice reviews. And when this site loads up, you can see how many pages of content these guys have, right? And you see they've got a pretty long article here, however many thousand words this is, but not that bad. And then they got a few different pages, right? So commercial cold press juicer and stuff like that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then they probably got more underneath each of these. It says reviews. So they got a category. So there's a page here for Omega, and then underneath that there's a category, and the category is basically supporting pages, I believe. I could be wrong, but I'm gonna guess it's like a bunch of blog posts and stuff that link back to it, or different types of reviews for that product. Maybe I think it looks more like different products reviews within that brand. So I guess Omega's a brand. I don't know anything about juices, guys, but I guess Omega's a brand, right? Is Omega J8004. Scroll down, Omega BMJ 330, right? So you have different Omega brands being reviewed here. So they have quite a decent amount of pages, but not that many. I've got a page 2 here. So I just go through and get a rough idea sort of how many pages they have. And if these guys are ranking on like 30 pages or something like that, especially on like an affiliate site, that's pretty small. That's nothing that big, okay? So I won't really worry about that. If they suddenly got like 100 plus pages, 200 pages, then I guess a little bit more worrying. And it's like, do I have the budget to fund building that many pages and building enough links to rank that sort of volume of pages as well, okay? So that's kind of how I'm analyzing in there. It's like you can take most keywords. Like if you really want it, you can take over best laptop reviews. You just got to have a big ass budget to compete with these big ass brands, which most people don't have, right? And you wouldn't even want to take the risk of doing that in most cases, right? So most people aren't going to do that. Juice reviews, can have a look at them ones to see how big those sites are. You can do the same thing on like these sites as well, right? So I can see like quite quickly that Pimlico Plumbers is a big brand, so I'm not going to even attempt to compete against these guys probably. It looks like a pretty competitive keyword. That doesn't mean that you can't go number 2. So again, you have a look at number 2. How big is plumlondon.com, right? And we've actually got, wow, actually got 1, 2, 3 of the spots there, which is pretty epic, right? The technically number 2, 3, and 4 in the organic, right? And the map back is not there at all, right? You can see these guys, how big is their site? We have a look through this again, and honestly, that's a big part of it, guys, is looking at like their on page and looking how big their site is, how much content they have on it. I've got a few blog posts, but I'm gonna guess they're pretty thin. yeah, just crap, nothing much. A little bit of content there, but nothing much. You've got pages for each location they target, which is very good. They got a page for each service, but not a huge site by any means whatsoever, right? So that kind of gives you a rough idea as well. Another thing you can also look at, of course, is like how optimized their on pages. I don't really do too much looking into this, but you can see like, do they actually include the words like best laptop review? These guys, a lot of them don't have the word review in it, but it's just taken over by massive authority sites, so I'm not even gonna attempt, right? You just know. Okay, so that's the second check, right? Are the other niche sites ranking? Is the second check. And then how big are the sites in terms of content, right? So how big are the sites? I don't know why it's just bold, it's really annoying me, okay? How big are the sites? And I'll just put like content. Right, so reviewing like how big are the sites, and it's going to give you a pretty good idea there. So you can see like we're not going to outrank Wirecutter unless, and you can see basically by looking at that, okay, like best cold press juices, these guys are what, number 1, 2, 3, 4, and they're not that big of a site, so it's probably likely that we could quite easily, if you have the budget, go out there and outrank them. Okay, so that's a simple way of guessing as well. And again, I'll just go through this whole checklist and just get a rough idea by looking through like all of them. Okay, so once I've done this, I want to go into the backlinks now. So, so I've checked the on page. I've kind of analyzed, is there like big ass brands ranking? I've had a look at the site, it looks pretty big or not. If it looks like I can easily take it in terms of content, now what I'm going to look at is the actual backlinks, right? So I should have somewhere Ahrefs pulled up. Okay, so going back to the keyword again, best juice reviews, right? The number 1 in the featured snippet and number 3 in the organic is organicnewsroom.com. Okay, so I threw them into Ahrefs, right? And there's a lot of things to look at. One of the first things you can quickly check is the number of referring domains, and I will add that this can be sneaky and some of them could be hidden, which we'll mention later, but nonetheless, number of referring domains, right? This one says 38. Now, can you build 38 referring domains? Probably. Okay, it's not that difficult, right? So again, they may be hidden. There's a lot more factors that go into it than that, but it gives you a very quick idea of how competitive this is. Okay, now you can look at like the DR, the domain rating, the URL rating as well, but they're not necessarily the best. It's hard to say looking at metrics. Okay, I like to actually look at the real numbers myself, and you can throw in multiple sites. Let's have a look at this one here, which we established wasn't that big of a site. I had a quick look. Again, I haven't really done much research. I just kind of pulled up a few examples for you guys, right? So have a look at these guys referring domains. What they got 1.2k backlinks, and when Ahrefs fucking loads, I'm waiting. You can see how many referring domains these guys have. I don't know what's up with this. You got 180 Facebook shares as well. You can see this stuff, right? I'm not really looking at that. I'm just waiting for the referring domains count, which doesn't seem to be loading whatsoever for me now. 6.6k keywords and 168 referring domains. I'm gonna guess that is. All right. So 168 is a bit more than the other site. But maybe, again, you're going to dig into this a bit. So let me write this down first, right? Number of referring domains, right? Number of referring, what the hell am I writing? Okay. Number of referring domains, okay? Number of referring domains. How many referring domains they have, right? It gives you a little idea, and you can throw in a bunch of the top sites here. I'm gonna compare the affiliate ones more so than the other ones, but you can also look like Good Housekeeping is a legit brand, right? Judging by my very quick look at it. So if I throw this in here, you can have a look at how many referring domains a specific page has, and to see if we think we can take that, right? So then you have 46 referring domains, which is a fair few, but not too many. But that tells us, okay, they aren't doing too much to optimize this specific page, okay? Whereas you threw in, say, Tech Radar, best laptop reviews, if this will work. I'm gonna guess they have more referring domains here because these guys are just crushing this keyword, right? All these guys are all these big authority sites, so I wouldn't even attempt them, right? So 781 referring domains, right? So not only do they have a very high domain rating of 89 out of 100, which basically just means they're a big ass brand, they also have a lot of links to this specific page, okay? So a very basic quick analysis shows us that stay the fuck away from that keyword, okay? Basically, all right? So another thing you can actually check there is obviously the referring domains. It's a very simple check, and I have so many freaking tabs open, I have no idea what I'm doing. Let's go back to another site. And then from here, you can have a look at like the backlinks as well. You can go into it a little bit more detail. And that's kind of the next thing I want to do is start looking at the actual backlinks that they have. enough and how good these links are, right? So let me write that down. Quality of backlinks, right? And there's so much you can really do here that it's just a whole bunch of checklists, right? There's a whole bunch of different things you can kind of look at, okay? So let's pull up this one. This one's really very easy, the Plymouth Plumbers one. I like local sites, okay? And here's the basic check, guys. How do you know if a backlink is good or not? If you can replicate it, it sucks, okay? If you can replicate that link, it sucks. Now there's other things that you can look at as well, and like you can have a look at the actual like domain rating and URL rating of that link, and that's going to give you like, this scores out of 100, so the higher the better, right? And that gives you a rough idea of how good they are. But if you can replicate it, a very easy way, like a crappy link is if you can replicate it, that link doesn't really count. You can just go replicate it yourself, right? So if someone's commented on a blog, it's not a good link. You can just go and build that same blog comment link yourself, okay? But have a look at these guys, and what we're looking at is an easy first thing to look at is a separate, right? Easy first thing to look at. Do they have links from B.A.B? Do they have links from big ass brands, okay? So the first thing, this is why I mentioned this, because the first link that comes up is theguardian.com, right? And you can see I don't even need to click it, right? But theguardian.com is a legit big ass news site, right? A well-known London plumbing firm, right? And it links out to these guys, right? I don't know, it says comments, I don't know if it's actually a comment or I think it's actually just a news article, right? Let's have a look. Okay, here it is here. A well-known London plumbing firm, right? And it links out here. I don't know what this actually is. Some sort of article, right? But there you go, right? So that's a link from theguardian.com, a big site, right? And then I'm basically just going to look through these different things, okay? And you can see here a link from USA Today, which you can guess is a big site, a link from bbc.co.uk, which is a news article. So just looking at this, you are not going to compete with these guys, right? So what have we done so far, guys? We've had a look. These guys are a big ass brand. We kind of know that already. It's kind of obvious by having a look through the site, right? They're a big ass brands for this keyword. Ranking number 1. I don't know about number 2, number 3, number 4, right? But these guys are a big ass brand. We know that for sure. How many referring domains do these guys have? They have 630 backlinks actually. Okay, 633 referring domains. A fair chunk for local SEO, okay? So you have a decent amount of referring domains that they're on site. We had a look at their site, right? You have a ton of content. It looks like a big authority site. The quality of the backlinks are really freaking good. The other links from like The Guardian and from BBC, from USA Today, and a bunch of other links. So some of these links, right? You have a look at this one, like plus.google.com, like Google Plus. You can replicate that easy enough, right? And some of these other ones, maybe they're not that good. It's hard to say, but like web name list, that's a crappy link, doesn't really count. But stuff like this, like a Wikipedia, that's actually not bad. But stuff like Flipboard, maybe, it depends, right? But basically you have a look. If you can replicate it, it's not that great of a link. So medium.com post, you can go ahead and create your own medium.com. It might not have the same, that might have like a good URL rating, that specific one, because it's actually a popular Medium blog or something. But generally speaking, that's kind of giving you, just guys, just dumb this down, make it simple. They have so many fucking good links here. You can just tell looking at these that you can't replicate all of these. Some of them you can, but a whole bunch of these you definitely can't replicate, okay? So like the glassdoor.co.uk ones that I saw a minute ago, you can probably like build them, because that's just like for a business, right? If you actually create a legit business, at least you have a client, you can. But a lot of these are good links, right? And we can do the same thing for basically any site, right? And you'll see, if I can find like a crappy example, it'll be much easier to explain this, okay? So let's see what these guys have, because these guys have just a ton of just really freaking good links, okay? But links you can look out for, you can find any. So like obviously, do they have links from big ass brands, right? Can you replicate the links? Like, is there any that you can actually easily replicate? So are they on blog comments or anything like that? These guys actually have a link from Guardian as well, which is pretty cool, for them anyway. This is a directory, right? So this one's pretty easy to replicate, okay? So do you have directory links? Now, it doesn't matter. The directory link citations are actually a good thing. They can help when especially local SEO, or just give you some local relevance, but they're not really going to give you any power, okay? So there's not really any power in these links, so you can very easily go ahead and create this, right? So when you're looking at a site and say it has like 100 referring domains, you're like, oh shit, that looks bad, right? But then you look into it, so actually it's all from like landlordzone.co.uk and these other finecraftsman.com and heatingservice.page.co.uk, right? These are all directories, like directory. These are all, look at here, at a quick glance now, look like directories, right? So they're not powerful links, okay? So they do have some, most of these all down here are all shitty links, right? So you have a look at the top and you have some, they look okay. So I don't know what this is, it looks like some blog post, so that seems fine. Standard.co.uk, I don't know what that is. It looks like a directory. These are directories mostly. WikiHow, possibly okay. Staunch and Flow, I think is their brand. I think that's what that is. And Guardian.com is a good link, okay? But they don't have many good links. You have one really nice link here, one possibly a couple of okay links. I don't know what that is without really looking into it. But you can kind of get an idea how many good links they have, and that's what you're really competing with. But you don't need to, you say, oh, 120 backlinks, that's scary. From unique domains, right? So referring domains, right? But if you scroll down, most of them are just directories and not really that great links, okay? So that's kind of how I'm analyzing the backlinks. I'm not so much looking at the domain rating or the URL rating, right? Actually, domain rating is pretty crappy, right? I'm looking at the actual backlinks, the 120 backlinks they have, and seeing, or referring domains, so to speak, and seeing how good they are. And you can see for the most part here, I don't know what this is, but for the most part, these are pretty crappy, okay? Let's have a look. London plumber. Okay, it's a no follow link. I didn't even notice that. I'm still getting used to Ahrefs, actually. I moved not too long ago from Majestic after meeting Tim in Chiang Mai. Super cool guy, by the way. I moved not too long ago. I'm still getting used to Ahrefs after moving from Majestic not too long ago when I met Tim in Chiang Mai, and I mean slowly getting used to it. But yeah, I should have called that. But there you go, it's a shitty link, right? So I don't know this as well. Maybe it's the same thing because it's not even relevant whatsoever. Let's have a look. London plumber. I don't know why. Okay, so you have a relevant link, so it actually makes sense. What am I talking about? It is relevant. It's about plumbing crap. Okay, but that's basically what I'm doing, right? I hope that makes sense. I'm just looking through and I'll grab another one and let's go to what we got. Best cold press juices, right? .com. Throw that into there. And what links do these guys have? Okay. Okay, we got how many? Was it 30 or 168 referring domains? Okay. And then how good are these links? In fact, wrong one. Backlinks, not referring domains. You know, that gives you a little bit of an idea, right? So they got a link from Storify. And I'm guessing Storify is like some sort of self-creation Web 2.0 thing. Yeah, you can just see it's just a crappy link, right? There's no power in that whatsoever. Storify, I'm going to guess you can create your own posts and stuff on this, right? Joomla.com, again, someone like subdomain, made up blog. These are all crappy links. Wall inside, there's all like mass generated, like possibly automated links, okay? These are all crappy, automated, easy to replicate links, okay? So you see 168 referring domains there, 168. That's just crappy, right? They're not really particularly good links there, okay? Now, the thing to consider if these are SEOs, which this one is, but cold press juices, sorry, I'm screwing up my words now. These are an affiliate site, so there's a high chance that these guys are hiding their PBN links, okay? So if they're using legit guest posts or anything like that, you can tell very easily. But if they're using PBNs, they could very well be blocking the Ahrefs bot so you can't see them. And there is a way of basically figuring them out so you can see exactly what PBNs they're using. But I can't share it in this video, and I apologize for that, but I just can't expose someone's PBN to like thousands of people that check out my videos and training, okay? So I can't do that, but if you want to see how to do that, we explain it inside the scientific rankings training, inside the membership, okay? But I can't do that for thousands of people publicly. It's just not fair to the guys that are basically in this community. Like, I don't even know the people that own these sites, not deliberately, because I wouldn't show it if I did, right? But I can't show off their PBNs and what they're using. It's just not fair, okay? But there is ways of figuring out, like, because what you're looking at here is just crappy links, okay? Just looking at this, I can tell instantly, because I've been doing SEO for a while, but you can just look through these links and you can pull them up quickly, and you can just tell they're just crappy links, right? So they have 168, but they don't even count. They're just crap, right? And that's going to give you a rough idea, but then you don't know how many of these are. You can also break down the do follow or follow, right? So yeah, out of the backlinks they have, or the referring domains they have, like 50%, 57% are do follow, right? So that gives you a little idea as well. But honestly, these guys aren't ranking off those shitty links you see in Ahrefs. They're ranking off PBNs. It's super obvious, okay? But you need to figure out what those PBNs are before you can actually outrank them, okay? Because it's a big mistake a lot of SEOs make. They look at this and go, oh look, these guys are just ranking off this. This is so easy. Then they go and try and build all the same links, or build a couple of PBN links, and they realize that they're not ranking because these guys, whoever they are, they have PBNs going to it. That's why they're ranking so well, okay? I don't know how many. Maybe not that many, judging by the look of it, but you need to be able to figure that out. And again, I can't show that in this video, right? But that's basically the checklist that I'm going to go through. Do they have PBN links, okay? So that's kind of the rough things I'm going to look at. Like, does the keyword have big ass brands? So best laptop reviews, right? Tech Radar, CNET, PC Mag, we can't take that. It's just not going to happen, okay? But this one, best user reviews, we can take this. Like, it looks like there is some big ass brands there, but there's also like fan affiliate sites as well, right? That is possible. And Plumbers London, it's pretty competitive. I'd have to look more down these sites a little more specifically and check out the backlinks here. I'm not going to rank number 1. Right, I'm not going to outrank Pimlico Plumbers, right? Not without a lot of effort. It's just not going to happen, okay? But maybe if we analyze like Plum London, that looks pretty big too. But maybe further down we can get somewhere on the first page. I don't know, right? But again, looking through the second page here, let's have a look. I'm still seeing like loads of brands. I'm not really seeing like cheap like SEO type sites, right? So that's a bad sign. It shows it's quite competitive. And then finally on page 3 I'm on now. Yeah, I'm seeing like Indeed.co.uk and Gumtree and stuff like that, which is just purely ranking off that homepage, the domain authority, okay? So that's a okay sign, but again, I'm on page 3 now, I'm not on page 1, okay? So that's the first thing I'm gonna look at, like, is there big ass brands? Are there other like SEO or niche sites that are ranking quite well? Then I'm gonna pull them up, I'm gonna open up the sites and say, hey, hey, how big is the sites? How much content did you have? Do you have hundreds of pages? Do you have 10 pages, 20 pages, 30 pages? Gives us a rough sort of idea of how competitive it is. What's the quality? Sorry, next one is number of referring domains. So how many referring domains did they have? We throw that into Ahrefs. You have 168 on this site. How many referring domains did they have, right? That gives us a rough, quick indicator of how competitive it is. You can also look at their domain rating score and URL rating score, which gives a quick idea again, like 37 out of 100. But I look more in detail. It's like a quick look. It kind of says something, but it's just more, that's an indicator to investigate further, right? So if you open it up and it says a 90 domain rating, that's a bad sign, but then that doesn't necessarily mean you can't beat them, because they may only have, say, 20 referring domains to that specific page. And like, let me just pull up an example, right? I keep dragging this video out, but it's so much to learn. Okay, so good housekeeping, right? So domain rating, right? Out of 100, you have 85. AKA, they're going to kick your ass, okay? If they attempt to beat you, they're going to beat you. But they've only got 46 referring domains to this keyword, right? And the URL rating is a bit lower, right? So they've got 46 referring domains, and they're getting outranked, at least in the, whatever this fit's called again, I forgot the name as I'm saying it. But they're getting outranked here by Organic Newsroom. They're not technically an organic, but in the featured snippet, they are getting outranked, right? So that's kind of an indicator that you can actually beat them, because they don't have that many referring domains. They're not deliberately ranking that page too well, okay? So number of referring domains, then you go into the actual backlinks, and you go into the backlinks here and you have a look through, are they quality, right? There's a few different things you can look at. Do they have links from big ass brands? Can you replicate the links, right? Is it any easily replicated, right? If you have a look at these, flipboard.com, you can probably replicate this, right? You can go create a board on Flipboard and you can link out to, you can grab your RSS feed, you can link out to it, right? I presume that's how it works. I used to use this tool, but I'm presuming you can create your own Flipboard link pretty easily there as well, right? Listly, I don't know what that is, right? But you can have a look, can you replicate any of these links, right? GFit or Jeffit or whatever it is a forum, right? So you go join the forum and create a link. You can replicate that. It's not a great link, but some of the others possibly are, okay? Do they have directory links? And that's kind of the same thing. You don't even need it. Like, can you replicate the links? It's the same point. If it's a directory link, if it's a blog comment, anything like that, you can probably replicate it pretty easily. And do they have PBN links, or more so hidden PBN links, okay? So you can check the PBN links when you're looking at the backlinks anyway, but there's a good chance if it's a SEO, like for the one we looked at before, sorry, I'm really sorry for exposing the site. I'm just trying to show an example, but I'm not actually showing the PBNs, so I'll stop in somewhere. I do have a limit, right? But these guys are obviously using hidden PBNs to rank. So then you got to figure out, how many hidden PBNs are they using, so you can get a rough idea of how competitive it is, okay? But that's pretty much what you do. And so you go through the checklist. That is it big ass brands? Yes. But is there still other niche sites ranking? Yes. Okay, great, I can still do this. If there's no other niche sites ranking, then screw it, it's not going to work. And how big are the sites? Are they hundreds and hundreds of pages? Do you have enough of a budget to build up those hundreds of pages to compete there? If there are maybe 30 pages, do you have a budget to build 100 pages still, so you can outrank them and actually beat them? Do you have a ton of referring domains, or do you have an amount that you have a budget to actually match, right? Are they actually good referring domains though, or are they just like directories and links you can replicate? Or maybe they're huge ass authority links from big ass brands that you got to actually put some effort into acquiring, right? That's also more competitive to go against, right? And you're just manually auditing and analyzing this stuff. You'll ask me for tools, like which tool is better for telling me the competitiveness of a keyword? Guys, I don't use tools, I just manually dig through the data and analyze if I can beat them or not. That's how it works, right? So I hope this helped. Sorry for dragging it out a little bit, but that's basically what I'm looking at. What I'm gonna do, guys, if you want to get a checklist of doing this, I'm gonna redesign this a little bit and make it into a checklist that you guys can download and use anytime you want to basically analyze your competitors. This isn't a full advanced one, but it's a quick one based on basically what I've taught you guys in this video. And if you want more training on how to do this stuff and how to actually analyze if you have hidden PBNs or anything like that, we cover that inside our ranking blueprint training, which is inside Scientific Rankers membership. So what I'll do is I put a link below this video or somewhere on this page so you can get on the waiting list when we next open our Scientific Rankers membership. If you want to, it'll be on the page somewhere. You can get notified when we next open up, and we teach you all the stuff in much more detail. Aside from that, I hope this video helped. I know a lot of people struggle with this, so I just wanted to create a quick basic video. It went on a little bit long, but basically breaking down a nice simple way of understanding how to analyze your competitors and not really overthinking it and not getting overly bogged down with the data and like domain rating and all that sort of stuff, alright? So I hope this helped, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.